I'm here today as a community resident, as a longtime activist, as a former elected official, former state senator of the area, a former city clerk, and a mayoral candidate last time around. And I'm here to express my enthusiastic support for Jesus Garcia, because I think Chicago desperately needs a mayor that is going to pay attention to the neighborhoods, that is going to prioritize the well-being, the development of our neighborhoods in the city of Chicago. You know, just a couple of nights ago, not too far from here, a man was killed, and a 3-year-old girl was in the car at the time that he was killed in his car. And of course, yesterday we heard of the tragic killing of a 15-year-old on the south side. Violence is a serious problem in our neighborhood, and maybe that to some is an understatement, and I guess I would agree with that. It's devastating our communities, and we need a mayor who is going to see the connection between the quality of public education, between unemployment, between health issues, mental health issues, and between many other issues that are devastating our community, and the level of crime in our community. If we don't tackle those issues head on, if we don't have a mayor that understands that we have to get into the neighborhoods on the west side, on the south side, near west side, and we have to make sure that we're doing the necessary organizing to empower neighborhoods through block club development, through real community policing, and through other kinds of activities that give people the hope that they need to feel in order to take charge. And the support that the city must provide is not there. We get school closings, we get speed cameras all over the place. We've got one on the boulevard, not too far from us. Our residents are being nickeled and dimed to death. They are being forced to pay even higher property taxes, because property taxes come by way of the Board of Education. 50% of our property taxes come from the Board of Education, or go to the Board of Education. They're being pressed, hard pressed, and yet there's no progress. Instead, we are going backwards. Downtown continues to progress, neighborhoods continue to decline. The poverty rate has gone up since Emmanuel took office. The number of children that are without the necessary basic services has increased. And so a mayor that understands that this must be our priority, that we can do this while still allowing downtown to develop, that we can focus on the needs of the neighborhoods while still allowing the city to be the kind of city that tourists flock to, and therefore allowing us to generate revenue. We can do all those things, but we need to focus on the neighborhoods. And no one in the city of Chicago, no resident in the city of Chicago can escape the adverse effects of the neglect that has happened in our neighborhoods in the city of Chicago. That's what has to change. And Jesus Garcia, right now, today, is the candidate that I think once he becomes mayor will be able to carry out a true citywide effort, a true citywide development plan that is going to create the kind of balance in our development that we desperately need. And so for those who ask themselves, well, what will be the difference between Jesus Garcia and Emmanuel? Well, just look at what Emmanuel said years ago, and evidently a number of people have forgotten what he said years ago, because he said he was going to deal with education. Instead, we have school closings. He said he was going to do neighborhood development. I haven't seen it. We have a serious shortage of affordable housing throughout these neighborhoods, another issue that feeds into the kind of environment that we just talked about. And so there are a lot of things that were said that have not come to fruition. And I feel that Jesus Garcia is going to make sure that those things get done. So, Jesus, you have my full support. And I think at this time, you are the right candidate to challenge Rahm Emanuel, who basically has not produced for the neighborhoods of the city of Chicago.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
Estamos aquí hoy para hacer una declaración importante. Estoy totalmente comprometido a la campaña de Jesus Garcia para la alcaldía de la ciudad de Chicago. Me alegro que él decidió postularse porque él en sí tiene los intereses de la comunidad en su corazón. Y hemos sufrido bastante en la ciudad de Chicago, al sur, al norte, en todas partes de la ciudad de Chicago. Hemos sufrido bastante como resultado de la falta de liderazgo, de la falta de compromiso de parte de Rahm Emanuel. Él hizo muchas promesas cuando fue candidato por primera vez. Yo estuve ahí, yo estuve presente para esas promesas. Yo durante ese tiempo declaré, indiqué que Rahm Emanuel no estaba conectado con nuestros barrios, no entendía los asuntos graves en nuestros barrios y que no iba a responder, y así sucedido. Y por eso es que necesitamos un individuo como alcalde de esta ciudad que va a responder, y va a responder en forma efectiva, va a responder con un plan que tome en cuenta todos los residentes de la ciudad de Chicago y trabaja en conjunto con nuestras organizaciones, nuestras iglesias, nuestras escuelas para mejorar a nuestros barrios y dedicar los recursos del municipio a desarrollar. Gary Chico, durante la última campaña, dijo muchas cosas y criticó a Rahm Emanuel. Y una de las cosas que Gary Chico dijo fue que Rahm Emanuel no tiene una conexión, no tenía una conexión con los vecindarios, no entendía las necesidades de los vecindarios. Y lo que yo digo hoy es que nada ha cambiado, ha empeorado la situación. Y Gary Chico entiende eso, pero él hizo su decisión y pues es su decisión.